We're here at Enoterra and in Kingston, and I think you know we do an event, a very exciting event called the Giro d'Italia, in which we taste 30, 40 wines from all over Italy. Well, we can't do that now, so we're going to bring the Giro d'Italia to you in small installments. And today we're going to be in Friuli, the northeastern part of Italy. It's an area very famous for white wines and now becoming more and more famous for red wines. In fact, there's more Merlot planted in Friuli than anywhere else in the world. But we're going to be dealing with the indigenous grapes, the local native grapes of Friuli. And we have Roberto Scarpati, who has the difficult job of traveling to Italy and finding these wines.
Ciao, everyone.
He's very good. He's been doing it for a while, so we're going to send him over again. And he represents these two fine wineries, two reds from one winery and a white from a different winery. And I would just like to say a couple of words about Friuli, because it's an area I really like. I really enjoy going there. It's a kind of a Mediterranean region with a horseshoe of mountains on top of it. Heading up toward Austria and Slovenia and some of the countries that are a little farther north. And it provides an excellent climate for producing wine because they get the Mediterranean influence and the mountains protect it from the harsh cold of the north. And on two mountains, small hills actually, in the east of Friuli, Collio Goriziano, which is also called Collio, and Colli Orientali. These are wonderful hills with a very special soil called ponca, which is rich in minerals, is very durable soil, and it's the secret of making the great wines of the area. And without further ado, maybe Roberto can say something about these wines.
Of course. Well, I'm known from the due fact that Friuli stands for, first of all, as you know, I come from Tuscany.
Yes.
So I would never say a bad word about Tuscan terroir.
Yeah.
But when we start to look into Friuli in general as a very particular characteristic, not only from the soil varietal that is present in the area, they're known to be famous for blends. Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, indigenous varietals such as Pignolo, or many others that they were planted back in the beginning of the 1800s. There is a charming style of substance in every bottle that you drink from Friuli. They usually never disappoint, especially these two estates. They have been very good friends to us. They've done an amazing job until now to bring to the table outstanding value. It's that what I always look for when me and myself and my team go for it. Actually, Enrico, which found the company that I'm partnered with, we decided to work with Friuli in very depth. That's why we brought so many small microclimate estates that they produce beautiful product.
Yeah, and if you go to hotels and restaurants throughout Italy, you know, a lot of people show the local wines, but almost every body of substance shows wines from Friuli Venezia Giulia is the full name, because these wines are respected by all territories and regions of Italy.
A big presence, great wine for food, but also they can be drunk by themselves.
Yeah.
You know, for anyone, it's a matter of choice. If you like to drink a good glass of wine, you can have it with anything, as long as you respect the Italian style. No reds with fish, but only a few know that.
Okay.
So, wine number one from our friends Scarbolo family.
Yes.
Scarbolo is a producer located in the Grave del Friuli. It's southwest, about 25 minutes from the water of the Adriatic Sea. Lara and Mattia are the current winemaker, the third generation in winemaking. Walter has kind of sheds off his weight off the shoulder of everything that he has done for the property, and Mattia and Lara are about to flip upside down the entire business. First of all, this is, look, if you can just show our friends what this is, the little B here is the new denomination of organic for North Italy in many properties, and the Scarbolo family were the first that they adopted that.
Yeah.
No pesticides adopted into the vineyard, a longer maceration skin, like gravity goes into the tank and then in the bottle, and it's bottled with no filtration.
Yeah. Do they still own a restaurant? They used to own a
They
restaurant.
still own La Frasca, yes,
Yeah.
where you can eat outstanding fricos
Excellent.
and amazing
Excellent food.
polenta with
Yeah.
cheese and many other dishes.
Yeah.
This is your typical, original, 100% Pinot Grigio that come from the heart of the region of Friuli. The valley adopt a lot of vegetal varietals that they give you characteristic to the wine of mineral, fresh herbs, tropical fruit. It's a wine for everyone. It's not your watery Pinot Grigio that we
Yeah.
normally
Has
buy in a
more-
retail
more
shop. This is
levels.
more of up to the alley of drinking something truly outstanding.
Okay, so we can
So
try
we should
some.
pour some.
Yeah. In fact, when Roberto told me we were going to do Pinot Grigio from Scarbolo, I was going to ask him which one, because Scarbolo makes...
They make so many.
They make several, one of which is very famous. It's a pink Pinot Grigio, a Ramato, copper-colored Pinot Grigio, which is the original way that Pinot Grigio was made.
That is correct.
With a little bit of skin contact. And he still makes a small amount of that, and that's worth looking for as well as the regular Pinot Grigio. Well, salute.
Salute Dio.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, but and many of our friends out there probably had the opportunity to drink the Pinot Grigio Ramato from Scarbolo or from some other estates produced and grown in Friuli. Pinot Grigio Ramato has a very unique style. First of all, the real color of Pinot Grigio skin is copper in color. The white vinification allows the grape to just don't extract that color side. However, when you vinify it for a longer period of time, the pink color comes in.
Yeah.
The pink allows some more acid for a longevity in the bottle to have the wine being truly extraordinary.
Yeah.
So this is
And
the
this
Pinot
is the
Grigio
regular Pinot
Classico. It's a
Grigio
DOC.
Yeah.
They own all the property sites.
Yeah, and they're organic. I think that's a big factor, big quality factor.
Beautiful fruit, a little bit of green herbs,
Yes,
lots of mineral. You can tell this is Friuli terroir.
yeah, yeah. Excellent, excellent Pinot Grigio. Very different from the big commercial Pinot Grigios. So it's going to probably cost a little more, but not a lot more.
This vintage, particularly 2018, was really much built to age. So I recommend whoever of you decide to take some of these at home to get a few extra bottle and look at age over time.
Yeah.
2-3 years, no more than that, but they will really show the beauty of this
Yeah.
particular wine.
Yeah, a lot of people think that Italian whites have to be drunk extremely young, and that's not true with some of the fine estates in Friuli. They can age comfortably. So this is excellent.
I think we liked it.
I
Was it
think
good?
so.
Would you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I give it a thumbs up. The last
Two thumbs
thing,
up.
Last thing I'll say about it is Pinot Grigio, just an educational point, is a mutation of Pinot Noir. So it's not unusual for it to have a colored skin. That's a normal aspect of the mutation.
So from Friuli, from the Scarbolo family, this is the Pinot Grigio Classico, Grave, 2018 vintage.
Yep.
Aha.
Excellent. Now we say the color of wine is red, so we're going to try some reds.
Of course.
And Friuli was not as well known for the reds historically, but since the 1970s they've made great strides in producing excellent reds, especially from the local and indigenous varietals. And we're going to be drinking a Refosco, and the only thing I'll say about the Refosco, there's several different Refosco, different clones, but this particular one has red stems. So the full name, hope I can say it without
Go
garbling.
Tony, you can.
Yeah, it's Refosco del Peduncolo Rosso. So it's the Refosco of the red stems. And it's excellent grape variety in Friuli.
Ronchi di Cialla. There is a lot to say to these guys because Ronchi di Cialla were granted by the government in Prepotto del Friuli to own their own appellation for the varietal that they grow in that area. You will find Refosco, Schioppettino, and many other in other parts. However, these clone only grow in that area.
Yeah. Prepotto is a little
in the
village.
Prepotto village with a small mountain, and Ronchi di Cialla owns and has the rights
It's
to all of it.
family owned.
Family
winery.
owned. They went beyond the organic viticulture. I have a lot of respect for them because they kept small, and for them means when I'm out, I'm out. You have to do some. You have to find something, another vintage of something like that from the estate. It's two brothers right now run from, and the Maradina is Cavaliere del Lavoro in Italy.
Oh,
She's
boy.
one of the hardest worker I've ever
Yeah.
met.
Yeah.
Cooks outstanding meals.
Uh-huh.
These are red wine that you can drink all year round. They're pleasant to drink, but they also have a lot of style and substance in the characteristic to it.
Yeah.
The Refosco from the vintage 2017 that we're drinking today is actually Tony and I favorite. And here's why. If you like Pinot Noir, it's light enough to please your palate. If you like something with a little more spices to it, which allows you also to cook more gamey dishes, it will go extremely well to it. But it also has a medium to full body tendency. It's aged in Slavonian casks and finished in French use barrique. The winery is not only sustainable, is also organic at the ground up because they have their own beehive to pollinate. So the microclimate and the biodiversity in the vineyard makes them truly unique. And this is the Ronchi di Cialla, Colli del Friuli Orientale, Refosco Vintage 2017.
Yeah, so this is from the area where they have that special Ponca soil, and
Viva Ponca, right? We should say.
yeah, Viva Ponca. And the two brothers who run the winery, I worked for them in 1995. They were very young men at the time, and they
Where
used
was I
to
in
collect.
1995?
Yeah.
I was in Italy.
Ah.
I was home with my dad, working for him.
Yeah, it brings back memories. They were collectors of insects.
They
I
do.
don't know if they still do
They
that.
do. They still do.
But
they still do.
Since 1995, they believed in biodiversity, planting many different things together in the vineyards, and especially about the use of insects. You mentioned the bees that they have on the estate. So it's a wonderful estate with a great story. And I especially like Refosco with prosciutto. Because
Speck, prosciutto.
yeah, the prosciutto of San Daniele in Friuli is one of the most famous. They don't produce a lot of it. Parma produces much, much more. But the San Daniele is esteemed.
In general, all of us eat San Daniele if you find it on the marketplace, but the production compared to Parma, it's basically 5-1.
Yes.
The price point is pretty much the same because nowadays prosciutto di Parma has picked up in quality big time.
Yes.
Acorn-fed pork, so you get a lot of those beautiful things that come with the animal.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, the only differences between Parma and San Daniele, Parma it's a tiny bit saltier and has a little more of a meaty taste. The San Daniele it's silk,
Yeah.
sweet and sweeter, because the pigs only grow in Friuli, when Parma instead buys them made in Parma, but they come from all over Italy. That's the main difference.
Yeah, yeah. What I remember visiting the facilities for prosciutto in San Daniele was how fresh and clean the air was. You know, it's not a commercial area, and
The
the
town
air.
is so small, you can walk in 15 minutes.
Yes.
The whole
yeah,
town. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The
Bene.
spices are so good on this.
It's excellent. It's
A little
excellent.
bit of pepper, clove,
Yeah.
tobacco, cherry. I hope our guests will like to try a bottle of this.
Yes.
So, last but not least, this is one of your favorite.
Yeah,
Why don't you say a
yeah.
few words about that, and then I'll just step in with something.
Okay. Again, it's Schioppettino, which is also known by another name, Ribolla Nera, and it's a grape variety that was almost extinct when the Rapuzzi family from Ronchi di Cialla started to produce it back around, I'm going to say around 1970.
1970, yes.
I'm not sure the date.
1971, actually, they start to
That was the first-
replant and regraft the
Yeah.
original rootstocks.
Yeah, so it was almost extinct, and they rescued it, and now there are several producers, but this is the landmark producer, Ronchi di Cialla, and I'm glad that they saved it. There's also a Ribolla white varietal, but the Ribolla Nera, the Scarpatino, two words for the same grape variety, probably the finest indigenous red varietal and white varietal of Friuli, Venezia Giulia. Also from that Colli Orientale area where the Ponca soil is.
I always call the Ronchi di Cialla family meticulous artisans. The crew, including the Schioppettino, the Cialla Bianco, the Cialla Rosso blend, and many others that we were able and blessed to bring into the marketplace, had a lot of not only style, substance, and character, but each bottle has the number of bottle right on it, the number of magnum, the longitude, the altitude of where the grapes are. Mm-hmm. All the vines, actually. I apologize. The average age of the vineyard of the Schioppettino bottling from 45 years to 65 years of age. It's all end harvest. And then does a first passage, it's new neutral French oak Taranso. Shortly after that goes in regular wood. And then does a minimum of 1.5 years in the bottle. Yeah. This is a wine that has a lot of power. This is your game on, end of your meal, enjoy every sip of it. It's truly outstanding.
Yeah, yeah. By itself or with cheeses, the famous cheese of Friuli is Montasio. Maybe a little hard to find, but worth finding if you can.
Who has a good Montasio down here? Do we know?
I don't know.
I haven't seen much.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of it at all. I had a friend who had a cheese shop in Summit. He used to get it for me, but he closed his cheese shop. So.
Look for artisanal food to go with this lineup of wines.
Yeah.
Because the artisanal food will go well with the artisanal way of thinking of these estates.
Yeah, and also I think this is a good wine for the collector, because
Collector
you can
item, yes.
put the wine away comfortably for a decade or more. Do you have older vintages?
I have 8 vintage. We have 8 vintages of Schioppettino
that you sell, or you just
that we
use them?
offer onto the marketplace from 1986 all the way through 2015, which is the current vintage.
Yeah.
At the winery, they probably have some older one. But generally speaking, Schioppettino gets better with age. This is just the beginning of an opening bottle.
It's a baby.
Big restaurateur all over the tri-state area and in America that have loved the Ronchi di Cialla from the very beginning. Buy their wine, put them in their cellar, enjoy them from a minimum of 5 years to a maximum of 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
If it comes from a very good vintage, you'd be surprised how outstanding the wine is.
Yeah.
They stand up to some pretty good Bordeaux these days
Yes.
for the style.
Yeah, I believe so. And although they're a little more expensive than the other wines, they're really not expensive for a collector's wine, because you can put this away for 10 years or more.
Yes.
I don't have the patience, but some
A lot of
you
people
may
don't have the patience, but if you truly experience to have a bottle of the Schioppettino di Cialla, it's drinking something that is truly unique to itself.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic bottle.
Yeah, yeah. And that's
Very aromatic, a lot of full body, rich. 2015 vintage, lots of juicy fruit against
Yes.
the 2016 from Friuli, which come across as power, extraction, and a lot more floral notes. This is just ready to drink now, and it will keep age very well.
Yeah, yeah. And 2015 was a very famous vintage throughout Italy, and I think we have a good example of how good it is in this Schioppettino from Ronchi di Cialla. It's really excellent, delicious.
I like them.
Even young, it's delicious.
They're
but
good.
We'll
They're
get better
really
and better.
good wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very good wine. We're very lucky and blessed to have them in our
Yeah.
portfolio, but that we can share them with all of you.
Yeah, I will buy some actually. What I'll do is
You
decant
give me
them.
your American Express. I'm taking it right now.
No, we do
Pizza
cash.
for
We do it
Tony.
Italian style. just
Cash.
cash.
It's true. In
Cash is
Italy, we
king.
don't really use Amex or Visa. They go, you have some contanti?
Yeah.
Contante means cash. Makes it fun for people to buy.
Yeah. But I would decant it and enjoy it with guests and
Beautiful.
surprise them because they'll probably think it's a Bordeaux or, you know, a fine wine from France.